The Random RPGmaker Roulette! Massive pile of unknown games. Pluck one out, timer for 30 minutes, have a play, and see if we get something good. And the next one we're playing will be The Monster in the Woods. This one I know for sure is definitely a horror game. And I am a really huge wimp for horror, so this might be funny. All I know is it's a horror game and it was made for the non-binary game jam in 2019. As a non-binary person myself, I was really interested in checking this out, even if it's a genre I don't normally like. And I'm interested to see if it's going to use the relatable themes of horror to help people sympathise for being non-binary. I'm intrigued to see how it goes. But also, I'm preemptively worried I'm going to whip my entire arse out and scream against the screen. Not surprisingly, a lot of different horror genre ones have showed up in this marathon and none of them actually scared me except one. So maybe this will be the second one that'll terrify the shit out of me. Hello, Born in the Future coming in to give a trigger warning for what you'll see in the rest of this video. There is one jump scare, which did get me a lot, but the majority of the horror in this is about child abuse. There's also sibling death and malicious misgendering of the sibling from the mum. The depiction of child abuse, I'd say, is pretty simple and short because it is just a short game jam game. It is at times a little bit over-exaggerated and, I guess, tropey, but it was still enough to really upset me as a person who's experienced it myself. So this video might be a bit longer than expected because I had a lot of time just talking about my experiences and trying to calm myself down from a big old panic. The game was also made in 2 weeks for the non-binary game jam, and I didn't know exactly how long the game jam was going in, so I do critique a bit about glitches and stuff, but knowing that now, it's completely understandable why that happened. I hope that's enough to help you make an informed choice about whether you'd like to watch this or not, and if so, let's continue on. Let's hit new game, let's hit our timer. At least that's a good thing about Random RPGmaker Roulette is it means I don't have to play too long of a horror game. Oh, cool, interesting art style. I think this reminds me a lot of the quote-unquote retro art style. There's been memes I've seen retro games as they actually look, actual sprites. Retro games as people think they look, and it's this weird completely lineless art style of everyone with very undefined faces. It's weird how many games unironically use that, thinking though that'll give us retro nostalgia for a style that's never been used before the 2010s. I'll put up an image now of one game I know of that for an example. It seems that maybe this game is using it deliberately for the uncanny valley. It is almost a very uncanny style. A child says question mark. Oh, ominous. Ominous. Extra ominous how these leaves are the only thing that's actually detailed. Were you slow walking? At least there's an excuse for the slow walking. It's supposed to be scary this time. Mushroom? There's something hiding amongst the trees. Is that the monster? Is that I thought it was an outhouse on the first scene because we came out of it. When we move up and down, our clothes gain a stain on the back. Is that intentional or part of the horror, or is it just a mistake? I'm already overanalyzing it. What is the horror? Where is the horror? Born in the Future popping in to warn you about the jump scare. This is the one jump scare in the game. It's going to happen at the end of this screen. When I walk past that one out of place looking tree at the very end, it's going to jump at me. Hopefully my reaction is hilarious enough, but if that's the kind of thing that scares you too, just tab out and don't look at it until it's over. I'm seriously thinking this thing is a monster because it seems to be just appearing in the trees every time. It's slightly different colour to all the other trees. It's a different design. If so, it's a really good... Oh yes it is. Fuck, oh. That actually really... that actually really chilled me for a second. I got spingly spongly up my spine. That really got me. I'm relieved that happened when I was in the middle of a sentence explaining how I thought that was going to be the monster. Even though I knew it was going to be the monster, it still spooked me and suddenly jumped at me like that. That was so funny. I didn't even scream because I was like, I need to finish this sentence first before I scream. Born in the Future popping back in to say the jump scare is now over and will not happen again. But yeah, that's a good use of having a deliberately limited art style. There's one tree missing there. Is that where the monster's going to appear? That'll be looking at it every month. I'll be constantly looking at these fucking identical trees, looking for which one might be the monster. Oh, is it going to blend in better with the trees as we go on or something? Oh, there's nothing mysterious in the gap of the trees. Is there? Is there? See, one of those games you have to do secret things, you have to find a gap of the trees and find secret stuff to get a secret ending or something. Every time I'm going to pause on the screen and look for where the fuck the monster is. Okay, it doesn't seem to be here. It doesn't seem to be here. If it is, it's blending in better with the trees than it was before. Oh, fuck. Now I'm going to be nervous on every fucking screen with trees. What's it got to do with being non-binary? Is this the experience of constantly wondering when someone's going to be... There you are, you bitch! See, now I notice it's really obvious to see it, but then I know that I have to walk past it's going to get me. Can I talk to you? I just want to be friends. The ex said no. I just See, it didn't give me that time because I knew it was going to happen. It crunched me and munched me. That was weird, it just went through the same screens twice. Okay, now we're here in this screen and it's here. And I can't move. Okay. That was when we went through the same screen. So was that a glitch or was it just supposed to be like ominous? Because I think it would have been better if we cut from like the monster getting you to just this screen. Because it was weird just going through again twice and knowing the monster. I guess maybe it's like building the dread of knowing the monster is there. It's clearly right there. God damn it. That is a really good idea, like having the monster be not clear and then once you know it's there, it's very, very fucking clear. But then just waiting for when it's going to pounce. Oh, where have you been? I mean, but again, the monster didn't actually seem to attack us. We seemed to be completely fine. Like it jumped at us twice. But then nothing happened. Where have you been? I've been worried sick, says our mum who is the whitest thing on the screen. Does that mean anything? Is it like we are halfway close to being a monster and she is not? Is it like the monster symbolises like being seen as a monster for being trans and the mum is like very cis and very untouched by the entire concept of terror? I was going to say, before I got interrupted by being terrified, is it going to be like a metaphor for like being treated like a monster for being trans and turn the monster going to be good in the end or something? Because I would really like that. Anyway, where have you been? I've been worried sick. Like a terror of having something always loom in the background. It's like a terror of like trying to go through your life and waiting for the moment some guy is going to come up to you and be really bigoted. See, it's always a thing that you can never really get it out of your mind constantly, just the idea of it, like someone could misgender you, someone could like suddenly start a fight in the middle of nowhere, someone could like harass you just for being who you are. And it's like, do I live in the closet and hide who I am to like avoid it? But then you have to live in the constant fear of fearing that someone's going to clock you for who you are, and then also not having the joy of being who you are. So it's like, it's a lot of ways you can handle a metaphor for like being trans or non-binary or in any way LGBT, and then being seen as a monster. Also, the monster design is cool, and if you hadn't have jumped and screamed at me, I would have said, oh, you look like a friend. Because it's a big tree fluffy friend, and it has a funny little face. When it's not screaming at you, I'm sure it'll be cute. Anyway, the child goes ... It's getting very late. You know better than to go outside, especially at this time of day, this time of night, and localised entirely within your kitchen. This is the second time I've made that meme in this marathon. I'm sorry. Oh, this mum is going to be the villain. I'm sensing it now. This mum is going to be the villain. I'm just getting the vibe, but it's going to be the twist that the mum is a real monster or something. Like not literally, but like metaphorically, the mum is a bad parent of some kind. I mean, it makes sense for a child to be all so quiet about saying sorry when they just did a regular bad thing. But in this context, this being the first introduction to the mum, is her yelling at you and you feeling sorry. It makes me think it's going to be a twist of like the monster's trying to save you from the mum or something. You should be. What if a monster have gotten you? Let's get home now. Have supper ready. You need to get cleaned up. Come along. Yeah, because now it has me wistfully looking at the monster. Like, we know from context that the monster has gotten us twice, but both times we're completely fine. And now we're wistfully looking at where the monster is hiding. Is it going to be that the monster is just friendly and fine, and it's hiding from the mum? And we're going out to visit the monster who is our lovely friend, and the mum is trying to take us back as like a metaphor for like being friends with an LGBT person. Your mum is fearing, like, oh, you're going to be tainted, you're going to be turned LGBT by them or something. And then that's the symbolism of the colours being very black and very white and us being grey, is that like we already were LGBT and you can't force someone to be straight just by saying you're not allowed to ever learn about LGBT and you're not allowed to ever talk to anyone who might possibly be gay. I know, I'm reading too much and I should get into the game and actually play. I think I am delaying myself because I don't want to get to the scary parts. Come along now. Oh, I'm coming along now. Oh, I'm coming along now. I'm coming along now to the terror. I'm coming along to the weirdly out of place default RPGmaker sprites compared to how everything else was very, very unique. Oh, maybe it's being used on purpose because that red door is automatically very ominous, and the fact that the world is getting like more detailed and more normal, so to speak, maybe it is metaphor of like us being crushed into being so-called normal. The vegetables I asked you to grab earlier are still in the garden. I would appreciate it if you could bring those in as I asked you to do this morning. Yeah, our mum is being mean to us about chores, and I guess like maybe we were skipping our chores to go visit the hidden monster. The way it seems very passive-aggressive, like, I would appreciate if you finally did this, as I told you to before. It could just be like she's actually not being passive-aggressive and she's just genuinely polite, but it does come off as like that to me. I'm going to set the table for supper. Also, it seems weird if she's afraid of the monster in the forest, that she would like immediately be like, oh, we're taking you home, but stay out here where the monster can get you and do all the chores. Don't take too long. Oh, but she says sweetie, maybe she is okay, but not that abusive parents can't ever just say patronising things, but maybe she is okay and maybe I'm reading too much into it. She said, sweetie, let's pick these giant carrots larger than us. I bet the boss will jump on the well or something, fucking hell. Oh, what's this grave? A grave marker for your sibling. Okay, this is non-binary game jam, so did our non-binary sibling die and they became the monster? Also, I noticed how we're being called child, And then our character sprite is like very feminine, like as feminine as you can get from just putting articles onto a random doodle. So this would fit in the idea of like, maybe this character is also closeted, like non-binary or trans in some way, and then like is being seen as a woman by everybody else, but it does not feel that way. I don't know. I'm trying to read into this. What will we got? Even the noise of a door made me scared. Oh, the dim lighting and the dim lighting and the dim lighting and the monster. The monster is by the grave. I'm thinking, is it going to be like the mother is like, oh, you're basically dead now because you came out as trans, like you're not my child anymore or something. And then we're like sneaking off to visit our non-binary sibling who has been banished somehow. I need to gather some ingredients for dinner tonight, okay? Remember not to stray too far, not to stay out too late. Yeah, it's also weird how if she was genuinely afraid of us having a real monster, why is she sending us out into the area where the monster is again? If this is metaphorically like, oh, you're a monster, you're not allowed to talk to your sibling again, then that would make a lot more consistent sense of what's going on. But then again, it could all just be like a world of dreams and metaphor, and I'm reading too much. And I need to stop overanalyzing every line. I need to pull up my pants and like, I guess like, not man up or woman up, like non-binary up, and go walk into the scary jump scare forest right now and finish this game before I run out of time. Remember, not to stray too far, not to stay out too late. Would hate for you to meet the same fate as your sister. She said sister, we said sibling. I'm thinking I got this. This is a mum who really wanted to be a girl mum. You've had two children who have not turned out the way you wanted, have not turned out, have ended up turning out not wanting to be girls. And you'd be like, oh, I'm presuming from how tall and is maybe like an older sibling who's like gotten old enough to figure this stuff out and like found the words for it and found like LGBT friends outside. And they were like, hey mum, this is who I am. I don't think I'm a girl. And then she's like, oh, I'm going to banish you, I'm going to lie and say you died to make sure our daughter stays a daughter forever and never learns about this world of things outside. I wonder if we go into the happy ending and be like, and then the monster hugs you and the whole world becomes colourful or something. I don't know. But I'm thinking that I'm gonna pull up my pants and I'm gonna pull up my bootstraps, whatever the terminology is, whatever the gender neutral version of that is, and I'm gonna go run out into the forest, I'm gonna go scream because things are gonna jump at me probably. But knowing my head canon the monster is nice, maybe it'll make me less scared. I'll be careful. If you need me, I'll be taking care of cleaning the kitchen. Be home by sundown. You need water, mushrooms, herbs, walnuts, ominous walnuts! She will be angry. Yeah, this is making me think this is like a passive-aggressive mum who's actually not good. Especially how she's saying different pronouns for the dead sibling. I got the water. I need the herbs, I need the walnuts, the mushrooms. The lightly ominous music. Very slow walk speed, which is intended because something's going to jump out at me at any moment. Okay, that was awkward. I can't go forward because there's a tree, and I go down and it takes me back. That's weird. It's not letting me go through. It's a weird glitch. Okay, maybe if I start while here. Okay, that's an odd glitch. I guess because it was made in the game, then there might be things. That's an odd glitch. You have to enter from a slight different point in the door to get through. Where is the monster? Are you herbs? You are herbs. No walnuts. Walnuts. I got the herbs. I need the walnuts. And a third thing. The herbs, the walnuts. We got the water. There's something else. Herbs, walnuts, mushrooms. Ominous monsters. I can't see you anywhere here. I can't see you anywhere here. I can hear the music killing me. Is there something down back here? I can't shift to move. I do get that what it's going through is an ominous, scary atmosphere, but it also is just very annoying when things are slow. The monster doesn't seem to be here this time unless it's gotten better at hiding. Please be a friendly monster. Please say I got it right, just because I want to be less scared. I want this game to not leave me with terror. I found walnuts. Oh, where is the monster? That noise seems like it came from the upper right. But then again, I have really bad spatial awareness, so I don't know. It's a monster. Where is it? I don't want to run. I want to say hi. Hide in the woods? I guess maybe the choice will depend on which ending we got. Where is the monster? Oh, it's the monster. I'm getting more. Maybe I might have clocked this. But then again, when you literally just have monster and non-binary, it's not hard to find a connection there. Hello. You better not be out here. That monster will get you. Where'd she run off to? Now it's the monster, because that monster definitely wasn't there. She was definitely saying it's the monster and running from the mum. Please don't hurt me. You are scared of this? Okay. Maybe I'm reading this wrong, because that did seem clearly as like she is the child sees the mum as a monster or something. And the actual monster might be good. Please, I really like her design. It's a cool scrunkly head fellow. Please don't hurt me. Question mark? Not hurt. I'm right. Wait. I scare you? Yes. Sorry. Oh, I love you, sweet monster friend who may possibly be our non-binary sibling. It's okay. It's a bit lack of punctuation sometimes. What's your name? I guess because this game was made in the game jam. Ah, that's definitely making me think it's the sibling, and they didn't recognise them because they've gone off and they've socially transitioned, changed how I look and stuff. And then it's like, I'm your sibling, yay! All along, Mum has been warning you away from the gay, as opposed to anything actually threatening. Oh, that's a bit of an anticlimactical, comical way of reacting to it, but okay. That's a nice name. Okay, it's a different name, so they have changed. Okay, I was thinking that the fact they didn't show it in a textbook, it was just wording, would be like they were saying the same name as a sister, but like, I guess that makes sense if they've transitioned, they probably changed to a new name. But I'm still holding on to my headcanon. And once the skull moves up and down, making a sound. You think they're laughing. Do you live out here? Yes. Me too. I live here with my guardian. My sibling lives here too. Maybe just the kid tends to use neutral terms for everything. Because that clearly seems to be a mum who identifies as a mum. Did you know them? They nod. Ma'am says a monster killed her. Okay, so now she's saying like, ma'am. So it's ma'am, not mum. So is that not your biological mum, or is it just like, mum doesn't see me as part of the family if I'm not perfect or something? Or is it just a typing error? Did you kill them? No. I like how the monster has such a sad little voice. We've already been established the sad little voice is being scared of the mum, so that's good. Slow pauses. The slow pauses are a bit annoying. Is it going to be like a scary thing's going to happen? Sorry. It's okay. Ma'am says they're in a better place. We used to spend all day in the woods. I think they must have liked to hear a lot. We didn't get to have a funeral for them. My head cannons. Ma'am says the body was that definitely sounds like someone saying, you're mutilating your body by wanting to get top surgery, blah blah blah. All of this definitely is giving me like the side meanings. Yeah, especially when they're like, why? Why would Mum say that about me? I don't know. Ma'am says it happens. Not even like, oh, it happens. Not even like the monster did it. That's why I can't leave the house except to do chores. Oh, definitely really feeding into it. Really giving the vibe of like, parent who has had one LGBT kid leave and become their true self is being extra abusive to the next one. And hiding it behind false politeness. In retrospect, her saying sweetie a lot might feel like, you're a girl, I'm not going to use exclusively girl-related endearments for you. It's too dangerous. Looks like they're struggling to talk. It's like they have to use the wind to speak. Shouldn't hear that. Oh. Mum tells me things like that all the time. Oh. Says that will happen to me if I try to leave. I'll be torn apart and have my tongue ripped out. Oh god, this mum is not good. I protect. You feel yourself smiling. Thank you. Oh no, it's almost sundown. I have to go or Mum will be angry. Can I talk to you tomorrow? They nod. Your smile widens. This is such a wholesome one. It scared me so much in the first 5 seconds, and now I don't feel scared at all. I'm so relieved that I stuck to my silly headcanons. If they've been confirmed in one way, maybe we confirmed in the other ways. I'm looking everywhere for you. Where did you go? I was looking for walnuts. This whole time? Yes, ma'am. Maybe it's just like the mum forces her to call her ma'am as like a show of dominance or something. I do get like a yes sir to your dad and stuff like that. It's like when they're very controlling. Sigh. Told to be home by sundown. Yes, ma'am. I was very worried. I'm sorry. How are you going to make us up to me? Very much feeling the language of like abusive parents who try and paint it as if they're the ones in the right. These don't really seem like the correct reactions of a normal parent who was actually worried. It's like more like, oh, I've got a chance to punish you. Oh! My dad would be like that. Like he would kind of just make up excuses and like ideas. Like, oh, you've broken some rule I never told you existed as an excuse to like to get all his anger out. He'd have like a bad day and he'd like make up something he'd think I'd done wrong, and then like at the end of it he'd like admit I didn't really do it, but he wouldn't take back anything he'd said to me. There was like one time he was like, oh, you've stolen my glasses, and I was like, why would I steal your glasses, Dad? You've stolen my glasses, you must have done this for some reason to disable me because you're evil. And he screamed at me for hours, he hit me, just left me on the floor, and then like hours later, after I was still lying there on the floor, just a battered mess, I'd lost all will to even get up. He came back and he was like, oh, by the way, I found my glasses, they were on my desk where you told me that they were. And he didn't say sorry or anything, he was just like, by the way, I solved the problem. I'm not going to apologise for anything I did. And that was the moment, one of the moments that made me feel like so transparently like, no, I'm not a bad kid that my dad is punishing, I am just a normal kid and he is making up excuses to punish me. That was a really enlightening moment. Also just because I was left lying on the floor for multiple hours just crying and sobbing my heart out, it gave me a lot of time to think, I guess. Thankfully I'm out of that situation, but yeah. I guess maybe that's why I'm overly worried whenever I see even the slightest hint of like that kind of false I'm in the right attitude. So maybe I am just judging this wrong. Maybe this is a nice mum, but I don't know. And my writing has somehow glitched towards the bottom. This is a few little glitches and a few little typographical errors, but considering this game was made in like, I don't know, a month or a week or something, it's very good for what it is. I will forgive Game Jam games for stuff that other games I would not forgive. I guess I have to talk about that then. Until then, no more going into the woods. At all. But don't talk back to me. You should have thought about this before you decided to break the rules. Yeah, this is very much coming off as abusive parents setting you up to fail on purpose so they can yell at you. Because she literally told me to go into the woods and do an arbitrary task which has no time limit to how long it takes to find walnuts in the woods. So now you're screaming at us for taking too long to find walnuts in the woods when you told us to find walnuts in the woods. Set our child in a deliberately impossible task, or deliberately a task that you can't do right, or not explaining how you want them to do it right, and then screaming at them for not doing it right as an excuse to just scream. The scarier thing is making me remember my dad. That's scary for the jump scares. I only do this because I'm not taking no for an answer. This is about an abusive mum. This is 100% sounds like the kind of thing, the kind of fake, I'm in the right, I genuinely love you, I'm not abusive thing that only abusers will say to have a reasonable doubt that the fact that they're being abusive. Maybe it doesn't mean like this. Maybe this is a genuinely nice mum. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it. I don't think so. I really don't think so. What if that monster had gotten you? Ripped you apart, throw your body parts all across. Yeah, the fact that, again, also over-dramatic threats of like, if you disobey in the slightest, everything will happen. You have to depend on me. I'm the only person who can protect you. Getting more scared for this than the jump scares. That's what it would have done. I have to cut down a lot of his dialogue because I've probably been rambling in circles. I am protecting you from everybody else. I'm the least nasty person in the world. If I tell myself that enough, maybe everyone will believe me. Maybe everyone will believe I'm justified in hurting me as a child. For everything I do for you, I deserve. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I'm protecting you from everyone else out there who'd be even worse and even more abusive to you. Therefore, I deserve respect. I deserve you to sit there and take all the abuse. I'm struggling so hard to raise you. You're so horrible. You're such an unlovable child. You're such an absolute nightmare to raise. Can you imagine how anybody else would feel having to deal with someone as shit as you? I'm going to try and focus off this. I'm going to notice that, like, it's nice and interesting how the trees in the top are all black and the trees in the bottom are all grey, and it works really well thematically. They do a lot of cool stuff with the art style here, especially with like things getting more real towards the house and the house being red. The house that subtly says to me the house is where the true danger is. I was going to talk to you about this later after I've thought on them some more, but I think now is the time. You're going to be homeschooled starting tomorrow. This, if it wasn't already blatant enough, I don't think everyone who ever does homeschooling is bad, but there is a large proportion, specifically in America and Britain right now, of people who take their kids into homeschooling because, like, I never want them to see the existence of LGBT stuff. That's a very specific motivator for a lot of homeschooling. It's terrifying, and it means I'm terrified of just hearing the word. I know that there are plenty of people who homeschool for normal good reason, and also they homeschool okay, they homeschool nice, they have actual freedom, that the kid is allowed to go outside. It's not just homeschool as in never leave the home. And they allow kids to have friends, they allow kids to talk to people, they allow kids to have any kind of freedom. There are many people in the world who do homeschooling right, but what's in the news most frequently right now, and is what's on my mind for people who use homeschooling as an excuse, so there's people who use religion as an excuse to be like LGBT phobic and stuff like that. There are a lot of completely neutral social and legal organisations of society that have been warped into being used to enforce weird boundaries on top of children, and it's just, oh, you're going to move far away from here and I can keep a closer eye on you. Oh, no. Do not talk back to me. Oh, no. I hate that this is such a minimal depiction of child abuse too. It's such a I guess tropey depiction of it. Is we don't know very much about the situation. All the things she's saying are very stereotypical. It's still getting to me so bad because I have experience for it. I should have done this as soon as his sister died. She didn't listen to me. She tried to run away and look at... There we go! Confirmed! Even if it was an actual setting of a real monster, it's... the sister got killed by the monster because she tried to run away from him. Why was she running away from you, Mum? Why was she running away from you? Leaving as soon as you're packed. I'll hear no complaints about it. No! I know in real life resisting against your parents is more likely to get you hurt worse. And I know in real life it's like... I didn't resist against my parents. I didn't try and escape. I only got out because other people saw what happened to me was wrong and they saved me. I still feel so much regret that I wasn't the one who saved myself, but I guess I'm going to try and roleplay as the person who saved themselves. Do you understand? Yeah, that's what it is. Like, if you resist, it doesn't matter. But I am hoping making the choice of trying to resist will give me the chance of getting a good ending. Please, monster, come and save me. Now go inside and help me pack. No control, no ability to stop. Oh. The very slow walking is kind of ruining the dramatism of this cutscene. That calmed me down a bit. Thank you for the long stupid pauses. I hope it's not going to be a long stupid pause that makes things worse happen now. Look what you've done to her. No, even after the sibling is supposedly dead, still blaming everything. That's what it is. It's like anytime anything goes wrong, and look what you've done. Look what you're making me do. Out of control, both of you. Ugh. For her sake, I hope she's smarter than you were. I've never been silent to be proven correct. I've never been silent to be right about a plot twist. Please, monster, please come and take revenge. Please come and save the child. I don't know if it's meant to be literally or it's metaphorically, please. I don't know if our sibling literally turned into a monster when they died, or if it is just metaphorically, like, someone is saying non-binary people are monsters, and I just... Child! Hello, child! I am infinitely more scared of this mother than of a jump-scaring monster. Oh god, I didn't expect this. I expected this as soon as the mum even appeared on screen, but I didn't expect this going into the game. If I'd known it was specifically about childhood trauma-based, I should have checked if the game had trigger warnings. Get your ass back here right now! That slightly mutes the horror by I get it's supposed to be like, here, fully established. The monster is lurking in the woods, please save me, monster! I get it's supposed to be having the mother use a swear word for the first time to fully establish that she is indeed the monster, but also the comedic contrast of no swears versus suddenly swears kind of took me out of the monster and made it took me out of the moment and made it less scary. The monster, please save me. I'm not even able to talk coherently. I am so on edge. Please let the monster save me any moment soon, please. You ungrateful little shit. Monster, please! Leave. Friend! It says friend instead of monster! Oh! Leave her alone! Oh, please don't hurt. You do not have a right to say that. I haven't done anything wrong. Oh, you do not have a right to say that! Liar, pants on fire, please just go throw yourself into that well. Not yet. Spooky you, monster. I don't. Does help mean help the monster to attack the mum? Because I'm in that position right now. I don't believe the monster is actually going to kill the mum. I think the monster is just trying to help me. So I don't know if help means help the monster or help the mum. I'm gonna run away. Oh great, it was what I expected. Okay, I should have done something to stop it. No, if I stopped my help, would I then be taken back by the mum? I think there's no good ending to this, is there? I hope it's not gonna be one of no good. I hope it's gonna be a good ending. Oh, I ran all night and into the morning. Someone found me at the edge of the woods and took me to a police station. They asked me what happened, where my guardian was. I told them. Someone had attacked her, and that I ran. For them to foster care. Oh, that fucking sucks, because you did, the child doesn't know that that was their sibling. Oh, so it really was like, the sibling attacked them to try and attack the mum to try and protect them, and then got arrested for it, and all the child could say was a stranger has done it because they didn't know. Oh god. I bet the sibling couldn't even prove that they were the same person because the mum faked the death, and then they looked totally different. Oh god, I hope they're not arrested. I hope there's a good ending to get for this. I hope it's a good ending. Let's put into foster care. At least that's good. Nice family to me, and they're much nicer than Pam. I never saw the monster again. I wonder if they're still out there. I'm supposed to see a therapist soon to work through memories my younger self had buried. Things a child can't let themselves remember if they want to feel safe in their home. I didn't hate Mam, even if I should. I know the monster was protecting me from her. But I have nightmares. I don't think they'll ever go away. I think it'd be worse if I hadn't gotten away. I think I'll be okay. I'll be okay. Yeah, that's a tough situation because is it going to be like there's two endings of a choice between like you save your mum from what you thought was a monster but accidentally kill your sibling and you get taken back by the abusive mum, or you let your sibling kill your mum in self-defense but then your sibling gets arrested forever and you never see them again, you never find out they were your sibling? I hope there's going to be a third ending somewhere in between. I'm going to go back for that and get to that ending, and then I'm going to see what happens if I make the other choice, and then I'm going to look up and see if there is like a secret ending or something. Also I should probably save before that choice. Because yeah, in retrospect, you start the game right next to the monster. Like they were already like being your friend or something. Can you preemptively get the mushrooms and the walnuts? And you cannot preemptively get the mushrooms and the walnuts. Oh, this slow walk speed is going to annoy me more on every replay. I should play a good and favourite game after this to cheer up. I need to blow my nose out. I haven't actually started crying, but I've been really like red-faced and worked myself up quite a lot. Yeah, it is weird how you just have to go through the same area twice and get jump scared twice. I wonder if it is maybe just a glitch. It'd be really annoying to replay all this. It's very, very slow. So that's the kind of a syndrome I've seen from RPGmaker games, which are like very short. They pad it out by like making things walk really slow. I have to redo puzzles. It was more of a problem in Alismere. That one definitely was a problem with that. It's like a game that was very, very short but very, very padded out with excessively long, excessively difficult puzzles with clues that deliberately lied to you and stuff like that. And walking really, really slow through really, really large empty areas. At least this one you're walking really slow through like really well mapped interesting areas instead. Okay, I'll save at the carrots. Huh? Now loading? Oh. That's a weird noticeable glitch. Okay, it doesn't let you save. I'm now stuck forever in a loop of this. It won't let me do anything except try and retry. I guess this is one of those games where it wasn't ever intended to actually open the menu, but it hasn't disabled the menu. That's a bit of advice I could give out to the creator. Like, either disable the menu from being opened, or actually do add faces. What if I go into the files and I add Actor 1 from somewhere else? Give me a second, I'm going to try and troubleshoot this. Open file location, look at all the things. No faces at all on here. So yeah, it seems like it was a game where like, it's quite frequent for horror games to like just not use the menu and stuff, because like having the menu suddenly pop up and suddenly have like equipment and regular JRPG things would really like ruin the atmosphere. But in this situation, you should have actually disabled it. Usually they do have like a menu with a face and they just like disable all like equipment and stuff. Maybe this person didn't know how to do that in time for finishing the game jam. Okay, what is the file name we needed? Faces actor1.png. And it doesn't even show it, so that is weird how it's lit. They did actually successfully make a menu where it doesn't show the face, and yet it wouldn't go. That would have been helpful, thank you. So yeah, if you want to unlock the saving feature, you have to shove some kind of image into that. I can't have a laugh and show which image I picked. Dr. Snap RPGmaker face. Yay! Yay! Oh, I was gonna have a laugh seeing that in this hilariously terrifying game. Oh, we can do the mouse. Okay. And it seems always dash on doesn't actually make us go any faster at all. Oh well. Anyway, let's go and zoom through. I will save at every point and we can save. While I'm just wandering through and catching up, I have a blabber. I gotta say, picking this specifically for a non-binary story as opposed to any other kind of trans really does hit extra hard because, like, you're an object, you're a monster, you're an animal, you're a creature. If you reject these categories of male, they're what make us human. I think this is a story that can hit home with, like, several different parts of the LGBT umbrella, but definitely using it for non-binary definitely really hits hard. Because I think the next one is the walnuts, right? So I should probably save before I get to these walnuts. I'm glad at least like now we can unlock the actual save menu. There is a bit of a bizarre and unique oversight to have a save menu blocked out unless you hack the game. Okay, let's try it. See what happens if we run and we never find out the monster is good in the first place. Oh, there you are. I was beginning to worry. It's nearly sundown. Did you get all of the ingredients? No, ma'am. Well, that is disappointing. What were you doing? So yeah, this really feeds into it. It's like, no, set you up into a situation where you're going to fail. Literally in this case, go and do this arbitrary task in a place I told you not to go because of the monster. So if you stay too long, I'm going to yell at you for staying out in the place where the monster is. If you come back because you're scared of the monster, I'm going to yell at you for not completing my arbitrary task. She's going to be mad at you either way. It was just an excuse to think, this is my justification that we're going to move away now. What are we doing all of this time? Looking for the ingredients. Well, if you're lying to me, you're just too dense to know where to find basic ingredients. Oh, she gets mean much faster on this route. You were lucky I'm taking care of you. You're probably dead by now. Exactly word for word the thing that my mum and dad would say to me. Suppose I'll have to get the rest myself. Lord knows you'd walk right into the mouth of the monster if I let you wander out here much later. That reminds me, I have something I want to talk with you about at dinner. First you need to clean up. You're covered in grime. Oh, so maybe that was a glitch in the sprite, how it was only showing us being muddy when we walk from certain angles. It's supposed to just like switch between two sprites depending on the scene. I'm sorry. Sigh. I know you are. I know you are, but what am I? You're not sorry at all, are you? It doesn't work. No, the monster's like... Maybe in this version the monster's more clearly seen that she's being abusive to us. That would probably spur them even more to want to take revenge. Do you miss her? Yes. I miss them a lot. It's sad what happened. She tried to run away and that monster just... Horrible that you had to hear about it. From me telling you about it. How the monster... Yeah, in this route she sees much... I guess because in this route the player didn't immediately clock that the mum might be bad and the monster might be good, it's spelling it out more clearly by having her just be completely hypocritical. Couldn't have a funeral for her, you know. Too gruesome of a sight. Oh dear, it's awful that you have to be here of all places where I just took you out and put you out. The memories must be unbearable as I tell you the memories. Wouldn't you like it better if we moved away from us? In this version, she's at least pretending she's doing it for a nice reason, but it's also very clearly hypocritical and false. What do you mean? I'm thinking we should move to a city, away from all these messy woods and messier memories. Why, I could even homeschool you. Yeah, she's painted the same ideas. That's interesting depending on the route, like different parts of what she's saying are more clearly abusive or not. You wouldn't have to worry about bullies or mean teachers. There's a bully right in front of me, they're the meanest teacher of all. To watch over you and take care of you much more easily than I can out here. Honestly, that's one thing that is striking me as a bit of a break in logic that probably is necessary to have a setting happen and probably would have been figured out if the game wasn't made so quickly in a game jam. If she wants to homeschool you somewhere where you don't have to go to school, isn't this the exact correct place for that? This place out in the woods far away from the school? Why would taking you to the city next to the school be a chance to homeschool you away from the school? I guess you just had to be in a setting with woods in order to have the whole premise of the monster happen. I do feel like maybe if this game wasn't so rushed, they might have noticed that and might have explained it a bit different. Or they might have had, instead of you having to go out to the woods in order to fetch vegetables, you would have gone out into the woods in order to go to school. They would have established that the school is through the woods. But there is only so much you can do when you're rushing a game on a deadline. This force is far too big and too dangerous. I don't want you to end up like your sister, sweetie, sweetie, sweetie. Very noticeable that she is saying sweetie, she is saying sister, when all we're getting from the child, who is only ever referred to as the child and never calls himself a girl in any way, and the monster, who is only the monster and never refers to themselves as a girl in any way. I do think that maybe this kid is also non-binary, doesn't really know what it is yet, but would end up coming out as either non-binary or trans in a different way when they grow up. And this is a series of generational trauma, and this mum is crushing down every LGBT child she has over and over and over again. Oh, my heart just couldn't handle it. What do you think? Doesn't it sound wonderful? No. Okay, we get different choices to make in this version. In this version, you can outright say no. I guess because she's framed it in a way. That's also they would manipulatively frame things in a way where it seems like just an innocent question, and you're free to answer however you want. And then when you answer however you want, that's when they pounce on you and they scream at you like, "No, you had to answer in the way I wanted." This definitely just feels like the fact that the kid doesn't get that this is entrapment is clearly going to be an excuse for her to scream at you again and to say, "Oh, I'm going to take a choice of resisting if I can." Well, you don't know what's best for you. I do. Yeah, so get used to the idea. Very much no choice. And do it quickly, we're leaving tomorrow. Tomorrow? Yes, that is what I said. Now get inside and pack your things. I don't want to miss the flight. Yes, ma'am. I do think it's very effective to use like choices that don't matter on purpose to show a character is abusive. That is a really good use of it. Chop chop. Oh, chop chop, alright. This monster's gonna go chop chop on you, probably. I think see how the monster doesn't immediately... Can we go over to the monster and talk to them now? No, we can't because there's a tree in the way. Can I run? Can I run? Can I run? Nope, I can't. I have no choice. I have no choice. I don't want to leave. Wish you could help me. Yeah, so either route, the sibling monster does still come and help him, even if he didn't meet them and get to prevent it. In this route, I guess, you don't get a situation where you know them as a stranger who isn't the same person. Oh, you're coming into the house this time, that's different. Go back to sleep, you have to get up early tomorrow. Oh my god. No, please, no, don't! I woke up in the morning. My guardian was gone. I don't know if she decided to go to the city without me, or if that monster he used to terrorise me with has gotten her. I just knew she was gone. I couldn't find her, I called the police. It's one of the only numbers I could remember, I didn't know what else to do. I couldn't find her anywhere either. My time in foster care wasn't the best, but the family I ended up with was really nice. They've helped me work through my abandonment issues, and I'm even working on finding a therapist. My mum thinks I've shown symptoms of repressed memories for a long time. It's common for kids of my kind of childhood to have memories they've locked away in order to feel safe for the only caretaker they have. My childhood was difficult when I made it through. I work for whatever else life has in store for me. Unless you know. Oh, it's a happier ending in a sense, but it still ends the same. Like, me knowing the context of the I know what happened is exactly the same. Just the kid didn't see, so they kind of were able to adjust better, and they're still dealing with trauma, but it's abandonment trauma instead of like directly seeing it trauma. Is there going to be a third ending? I'll load up my saves, I'll see if I can get anything from making choice on that ending, or if it is just the choosing the monster part and then something else there. Let's choose the walnuts. Let's skippity dip into the friendship scene. It definitely hurts that this game, it's very short and the point is to replay through and to get all the endings, but one, the save menu is disabled by default because of a glitch, and two, replaying through, there's really slow walk speeds, really slow long pauses in the middle of cutscenes. It just gets really annoying to have to play through it all. I think if it's ever made into a full game, maybe having like a dialogue skip button or something would help. Especially if it was made into a full game, it would probably be a lot longer than this. Said yes that time, let's see what happens. What happens is we continue to walk really slowly in this fucking cutscene. Yeah, like when you're replaying, when the slowness isn't adding to the sadness and the scariness, it just becomes annoying. I guess maybe the yes or no choice didn't matter because we are still trying to escape. So I guess maybe it's just a choice of whether we help or run from the monster. I hope it's not going to be every ending is sad. Also, none of these endings have like outright spelled out the fact that this is a metaphor about being non-binary. If I didn't know beforehand it was made as part of non-binary game jam, I don't think I would have gotten the message. It's maybe not so good at delivering the message to like an audience of presumably like non-LGBT people who wouldn't already have the context. They might just see it as genuinely like a friendly monster saved you from your abusive mum, and the sister plot didn't go anywhere. Okay, let's see if it's if not, I don't know what else to do to change the ending. I'll just have to look it up. Stop! Yeah, this is exactly the opposite of what I expected. I assumed by saying help it would be like, we throw ourselves in front of the monster and the monster either kills us or like the monster sees her on the side of the mum and is rejected or anything. Like, no, it's just ask for monster to stop. I think if you'd phrased that question different, I would have made that choice in my first playthrough. Like, no, stop! Like, literally just phrase it like that in the dialogue point, rather than help, because help sounds so vague. Like, either help the monster to get rid of the mum, or help the mum and get rid of the monster. It seems like a very binary option. Ironically, for a non-binary game. This is exactly what I wanted, is like, just talk to the monster and say, please don't do it. I protect you. Be good. Whoosh. Are you okay? Let's go inside. It's getting late. Can I not get inside? Can I run now? I can't control. I'm gonna save here. Please say this is the route to the true ending. Like, if we go inside, we'll get the bad ending, and if we go find the monster, we'll get a good ending? No, I can't go outside. Damn. Guess that is weird that we just have it playable here rather than the cutscene. There's maybe something else we can do here. I want to run back to find the monster. Like, don't kill my mum. Your mum, our shared mum, but also I don't want to be with her. Like, you can save me without having to kill her and ruining your own life. Like, if you'd just taken me away. Yeah, that's the ending. The next day my guardian went through the process of putting up for the... Oh! So she was like scared straight. Like, again, ironically, it's an LGBT game. So in this, that's also weird how this text box is in large letters. This is like default RPGmaker font. Maybe they forgot to do like the custom font they were doing. I was scared at first, but I felt like things would turn out okay. I was never adopted, but I was lucky enough to avoid the scariest parts of foster care. So I was seeing a therapist at my university to work for my CPTSD and the memories I was too young to come to terms with back then. It's been a very long journey, but I've made it through. I know my sibling will be proud of me. Moving on. That's the best ending we've got. Is like her being so scared. That can't be all the endings, because that just seems like a really weird way for it to play out. Like, your sibling is right there. Your sibling is saving you. Yeah, it ends with like you go into foster care or something. But it just ended the same as all the other endings. Like, it seems the only way it's ever going to end is you get away from the mum, but the sibling, you never see them again. It seems really odd in that version where the sibling like scared the mum enough to put you up for adoption. They would never reach out to you and see you again. So maybe this is supposed to be more metaphorical. It's more like the sibling actually did die, but also the sibling was still non-binary. And like, again, the fact that the whole thing is ended without ever once saying the word non-binary. They have like they, them and stuff like that, but if I played this just as every other game on his marathon, I didn't have any context going in. If I didn't know this was made for non-binary games, I wouldn't get that this was non-binary. I think someone going into this who didn't already have the full knowledge and context might just not get much from this. Yeah, it says at the end of the credits that created for non-binary games. I get the idea of wanting to do like a purely metaphorical deep thing, but then also like, if you're doing something specifically about sending a message, I think maybe having like a clarification of like what it means is more important. Let's look on the website. Oh, you can also play it in window. That's interesting. Oh, they did have a trigger warning. Warning for child abuse, verbal abuse, mention of PTSD and CPTSD. I wish I had seen this trigger warning before I played it. I just went in going, oh, I'll probably give a better reaction if I'm right into a horror game without knowing. And yeah, made in 2 weeks. That definitely, there are only 3 endings. Oh. There should have been another ending, one where it's revealed clearly that the monster is your sibling and what is actually happening is that they were being treated as a monster for being non-binary. Either that or they died and they literally actually physically became a monster, but what's happening is that they are non-binary and your mum is misgendering them. I do worry about the scenario of like people playing this who don't know what's going on, don't know what it was made for, are just going to be like, oh, the sibling, the monster, why is the kid calling it a sibling, it's a sister, and just not get it at all. Either that or they might actually think the monster really did kill the sister. Okay, big thumbs up. Fate Plate 2 years ago has said a review that said basically everything I've said. So I do feel like I'm validated in my mild criticisms here, because they agreed on the nice thing about the monster blending in with the trees and then freaking out, and then once you know it's there, you're constantly looking for it. It was really good. And also how the mother was slowly and subtly off. They had a different line for it. They thought was a moment the mother became too clearly evil, and it became like a bit in the face. It didn't go, for me it was the arse line, because it's just like the only time she's sworn so far. But yeah, there is a moment where I feel like, oh, after all that subtly setting up, they do just go like, oh, she's very, very evil. And again, saying that they wish there was an ending where the girl and the monster do just escape together, and the girl actually does find out that the monster is their sibling. Also, one thing I've noticed is like the majority of reviews here seem to be saying the girl, the sister, for the protagonist who's only ever called the child. So again, I feel like it was maybe a bit unclear to people who didn't already have the context. To me, it seemed very deliberate that the child is called the child and is referring to themselves as the child as well as referring to the sister as the sibling. It did feel like maybe both of the siblings in this family were in some way, one who knows that they're non-binary, or one who is like non-binary in training, I don't know, like one who knows that they are in some way also LGBT, because they seemed very deliberate how all of the terminology that the child uses about themselves is neutral, and it's only the mum that calls you a girl, but the mum also calls the other character a girl, the other character who is very clearly not a girl. Also, yeah, talking about how the endings seem weird, and it's a weird binary between like, oh, I want to stay with the monster, therefore my mum is going to die horribly, versus like, I don't want my mum to die, therefore I never see the monster again. Also about how regardless of each version you don't stay with a monster. Exactly what I expected. There is at least one person who goes, why does this have the LGBT tag? I don't get it, nothing was LGBT in it. And the creator explaining, yeah, this is what it was supposed to mean, I just didn't have enough time to really expand upon it. But that makes sense, because this sounds like one of the shortest game jams I've ever seen, 2 weeks, like holy shit. I'm really impressed someone managed to pull this off in 2 weeks. But it's a shame that they say 2 years ago. I'm gonna explore it more in the next version of the game, and there is no update to the game. It hasn't been updated in 2 years. So creator, if you see this and you are still planning to create more about this, I would love to play the more fleshed out version of the game. I would love to see it. Here's an explanation for why the remake/sequel hasn't come out yet. Is the developer seems to have decided to make it an entirely different game engine, and it says they wanted to have it done by Halloween, but it's not working out, and that was 3 years ago with no further updates from then. So presumably it's been more difficult and time consuming to learn how to use a new game engine. But I do still hope, fingers crossed, if it comes out someday, I'd love to play it. Someone else who they didn't even realise that it was a menu not loading. They pressed X and then got stuck in an infinite loop. Yeah, that's a save glitch. You can't open a save menu. And the developer's saying they're not very experienced with like actual game programming, and they were hoping to find like a team of more people to help them out. And that's probably another reason why it hasn't happened yet. I wish you the best of luck, developer, in finding more people to work with. Honestly, developer, you want people to help you work with this. I would be happy to help work with this. I don't know very much about programming myself, but I mean, I've literally fixed the error right now. So like, if you want people to help you fixing the error, I can like tell you what the error was and how I fixed it, and you could fix it yourself. Also, I'd love to help us in any way I actually could. Like if you need like more art assets made for it or anything, like that's probably all I can do. I have basic abilities in RPGmaker MV that I could help out with stuff, but I think it'd be egotistical of me to assume I know more than this developer when I've never completed a game myself. But I would love to help and support this in any way I could, even if it's just spreading the word through a silly video. Okay, here's a confirmation. That's a relief. A confirmation from a developer that the child is indeed a girl who goes by she, her. Okay, that wasn't very clear in the game. It did seem like, because it's a non-binary game and it's specifically about a non-binary sister being misgendered, I did feel like maybe the character that is deliberately called a child constantly might also be non-binary. So I think maybe it would have been clear if you had like the text box say girl or something. An explanation of why the screens loop at the beginning of the game. It is supposed to be intentional. It's supposed to be that the monster, before he actually reached out and talked to the child and tried to convince her, would just like take the child and try and get her away from the mum by force. So that's what happened. You wake up when the monster is trying to take you away, but you don't realise because you don't know the monster, you think it's a tree, and you try and run away then. So the first few screens of the game are the monster slowly running after you, trying to catch you and get you away from the mum. And that's why it loops, because it's supposed to be like the monster catches you and tries to take you back, and then you run away again. Wasn't terribly well conveyed in confusion. That was because of how quickly the game was made. And now I know what it is. I can totally see that that's what was happening. It does add a lot to the ending, where like, it did seem like the sibling went from like 0 to 100 and went to like killing the mum rather than thinking, oh, why can't you just take the child away with you? But no, they had already tried to take the sister away with them in the beginning. If it had been made clear, it would have made the whole rest of the story clearer by context. Maybe it could have worked by like starting the game waking up for like some sort of like mysterious opening narration or something, which is like, oh, stay away from it, it's going to hurt you. And then when you replay a second time, oh, that's actually the monster telling me to stay away from the mum. And that would have had a more of an establishing tone of what's going on. Or maybe just like start the game like that happens, and then the child wakes up and is like, where am I? I need to get home. And if you just had like the slightest text box like after the character gets looped the first time, going like, oh, what happened to me? I'm back where I started. That would have made it clear that it was intentional rather than a glitch. So yeah, that's my overall review of it. Really good, really promising game. Once you get what's going on, it really means a lot. It's a shame there is no happy ending. But I guess every ending is like, no matter what, the child grows up and is like dealing with things in their own way and getting therapist help. Every ending is happy and no ending is happy. I wish there was a happy ending of staying with the monster. Also, from what the developer was saying in the description, it seems like it wasn't supposed to be like a metaphor, as in the mum is saying the non-binary person is a monster and they faked their death. It's supposed to be that the non-binary sibling actually did die, and this monster is a ghost of them. Which Which I guess, again, if that was made clear, that would explain like why they can't just actually take the kid away and live with them. But pretty much every criticism I have about it is all things that just happened from it being a short game jam game, and presumably would all be fixed if this game finally did get a full version someday. But that is still nebulously up in the air. I don't know if it's still happening or if it's been cancelled. I do hope it comes out. If it does, I would love to play it again. Hit me up. And next I will be playing for... I've had a lot of trouble trying to pronounce this one. Fausts Alptraum. I can't help but look at it and keep saying Fausts Alptraum or Fausts Alptraum. I also have no clue if it's Faust or Faust, and there seems to be no like apostrophe, so it's not. Is it multiple Fausts? Is it not an Alptraum owned by Faust? What is an Alptraum? But yeah, from the title screen, it's very simple. It's just like sketchy stuff. I have no clue what this is. It's giving me the vibe it was something like Ib. It might be like a horror game. Which if so, it's a shame I didn't play this in time to include it in like the horror special I already did. But then, that's what you get when you're playing these games in a random order. You can't know which are which. If I'd waited until I finished playing like all of these like 28 different random RPGmaker games to actually start making the first video, then like they would never come out. Okay, what is extras? Okay, I guess that's where we'll unlock like story CGs or something? Start. Okay, it's not Z, it's enter. Always confusing how it's a different one in every game. Dot.
Setting 1012.
Perhaps slightly chillier in the San Fernando.
Okay, scary radio has happened. I'm setting my timer, I'm looking away. Okay, we have a music box and a really long black screen. This is going to be a jump scare. Don't Five Nights at Freddy's me. If it's giving me a jump scare, can I make an executive decision to like not play this? Hello, are we going anywhere? Are we doing anything? Great way to start your game. Just a full whole ass minute of a blank screen. Come the fuck on. This is actual torture. I'm trying to brace myself. Is this just a really long opening cutscene, or is this just an actual glitch? I'm clicking every button that I know. You're faded out. Is anything gonna happen now? Okay, it was just a really long ass. It's just a blank text box now. Is this glitching? Okay, another empty text box. What is it? The pixel art is a nice and unique style. Everyone's like weird little like scarecrow thingies. I like it, but it's hard to comment on any of the good things, but I just don't know what's going on and if the text box is glitching. Is there supposed to be something happening here? I'm presuming there's supposed to be something happening here. No? I guess we will not be able to find out what the Fausts Alptraum is. Hello? Hello? Like, it seems like it's not loading a font. I like I was showing the contrast between our protagonist and like everybody else because Eddie only has like red hair. Some kind of. I'm gonna pause and I'm gonna try and see if I can. Okay, we're loading back up again. I went into the directory of the game and there was an XC marked fonts, install fonts here. That is again a very weird choice to like have no indication whatsoever. You have to click an XE to install basic fonts in your game. Have like not even have like a loading screen pop up saying like, hey, install the fonts to make this work, or like have like on the Steam page say install the fonts to make it work. Also, why is the ... working but no other fonts are working? Okay, here we are. Again, you show yourselves your wavering forms. Reveal that you once were to the clouded vision. I will restart our timer. Shall I attempt to hold you fast once more, hearts willing still to suffer that illusion? I am understanding even less than I did when there was nothing on screen. Of lovely hours those slipped from me and lost, they can no longer hear this latest song. I bring my verses to the unknown song. My heart's made anxious even by their clapping. You almost had a rhyme for a second there. The shudder takes me tear on tear entire, the firm heart feels weakened and remote. Is this some kind of new experimental type of poetry which doesn't rhyme? It's probably some kind of really intelligent type of poetry, but it's a weird rhyme scheme like every 50 lines or something. I don't know. What I possess seems far away from me. What is gone becomes reality. Now we're having a rhyme in the final line. Go, Faust. Oh, okay, so it is actually the thing that the Faust is for the Faust, or the historical something or other called Faust or Faust is where that name comes from. I don't know much about historical things, except I really hated learning them in school. I couldn't understand any of the language whatsoever. Today is Heinrich Faust's funeral. It's his Alptraum. Despite having it's his Applesaft! Despite having a sign read, even she wasn't sure if that was his real name. Even she can't understand the name of the game. So let's put it this way. Rectangle. I installed the fonts, so something's still going wrong. Today is Daddy's funeral. Oh, that's really sad. So it's like she's so young she doesn't even know her own dad's full name. Or the family is full of neglect and she was never taught, something like that. I was going to say before all this, I think it's a really interesting and unique sprite style. They've got completely fully unique sprites, and it's good and visually evocative to have everyone look at these strange little scarecrow creatures. It reminds me of I don't know what the name of it is, but some of those little Japanese dolls which they hang from the windows to ward away rain and stuff. And I think it's also really good to stand out how our protagonist, everybody here has some variant of brown or reddish hair, but it's all really faded out, and she's the only one with very vivid ginger hair, and it's good to make you immediately be able to see which one you're controlling, and also make it really show she is somehow she doesn't fit in with everyone. I don't know, it makes me think is she the unwanted child of the family or something? I don't know. Today is Daddy's funeral. There are more people than I thought. Aunt revealed traces of annoyance beneath her veil. Okay, that's an unusual choice of how to deliver things in RPGmaker games. So instead of having text boxes with everyone's name, we just have quotes, and this omniscient narrator telling us how the quotes were delivered. So we're living with our aunt, our father has died, our aunt is an arsehole apparently. And we have a very pretty art style. I like us too, it's very classic, what was the name of that, Ruby Gloom or something like that? So sleepy, the girl thought. Why must we get up to face such a dreary day? Chatter permeated the sea of black suits of which she recognised only a few. A few in the crowd wept with sorrow. How nice it was that there were still those who would lament his passing. So, is it about time to go? Aunt asked with a smile. Oh, fuck you, Aunt. Why does Aunt smile when she clearly never means it? The girl yawned and looked at the tomb, almost wishing she swapped places with the one person resting it out. This is going to be a very depressing game, isn't it? This game is almost reveling in how absolutely fucking depressing it is. I feel sad. The coffin closed to a firm click as if a patch of clouds in the gloomy sky had run headlong into the wall. That's a weird metaphor.
I can't even fucking imagine why you would have to do this.
Is it this one? No. No matter how tidily the lush blue tiles were stacked. Where? Where's the lush blue tiles? I see only a purple roof. Maybe it's just the lighting filter. One could still detect the passage of time. What's wrong? Aunt turned around, mystified. My dad's dead? The girl didn't want to go in. Aunt smiled wryly as if she had read the girl's mind. You don't have to go in and see him what's there. Don't worry, it belongs to you. Oh, because this is our dad's secret shed where he brews the whiskey.
Made fresh on the mountain by me and my army of little owls. We brew it and it's good and it's delicious and it's made of hops.
No, why do you think that would bother me? This isn't what you guys say. Okay, this is a bit confusing how our dialogue is not in quotation marks. The narrator, are we also the narrator? So are we the girl saying the girl did this, the girl did that in this very fancy voice which doesn't fit the girl? Because I would just think put some quotation around so this is what the girl is saying. However, the girl kept all those thoughts to herself. Okay, it's not what you're saying. Have brackets to say this is her thoughts or something. Never mind, just wait outside then. Aunt waves as she turns. So she's gonna go in and get eaten by a monster or something. We have to go in and save her, right? I don't want to save her. The doorknob turned smoothly. So slow. Going in wasn't better than staying out here, but she just wanted to go home as soon as possible. Any home would do. That's sad. Also, you don't look like... I was in the cutscene you look like you had brown hair and a black dress. And Marv? The very air seemed to make Bonford burp. I'm sorry. The very air is coming out. The very air seemed to freeze. A horizontal layout could just barely be made out through the haze clouding the unlit lights in the antechamber. The writing is kind of strange. I wonder if it's a translated game, because it is very pompous ways of saying things that you would think a little girl's internal monologue would not be saying. In the silence, it was as if dust would be stirred up by the slightest step, but the odd thing was there was no dust at all. Weird. Both doors were locked. Why? The electricity must be on. Where's a light? A light. Eek, some kind of monster. Oh, it's a kitty. That's a really, really cute, silly art style for a kitty. I love this friend. They are so wide and square. That was friend. No, it wasn't. Friend and pal. Friend and round. Friend and rectangle. Friend and bread loaf. Friend and toaster. With a lovely floofy tail. You would look like you would make a great My Little Pony figurine. Feline eyes lance the sharp look out of the gloom, where coal black fur melted into... They didn't remember that when they had like My Little Pony and Friends, like way back in G1 where they had like what was the name of the bird variant which had little tails? I liked those as a kid because they had like little clippable feet where they could stick onto anything. I would always like put mine on my finger and be like, yay, little friend is with me. Anyway, feline eyes lance the sharp look out of the gloom, where coal black fur melted into the shadows. Now my colours are correct in this cutscene. I guess maybe she was wearing morning clothes, but her sprite kind of looked the same. Maybe I was just missing it. But no, we went straight from the funeral to opening here, so wouldn't our outfits still be the same? Anyway, I'm nitpicking. I do really like this interesting art style. I do like it how full into illustrated CG cutscenes for everything. Is this going to be like more of like a visual novel type game? I don't know. It flicked away in the next second. I like the mix of like detailed characters with like really big heads and like really skinny arms and then like really abstract dream pack. It does definitely give me vibes of Ib. Or is it Ebe? How do you pronounce that game? Oh, it disappeared. Where had it come from? The cat had vanished from the corners of her eyes. Weird, huh? It's a very mundane narration. We're just like saying over again, that was strange, that was strange, that was strange. Our art style is changing between every cutscene. I was gonna say I like the first one we went with, but now we look like Pearl from Steven Universe. Not that she's bad, but it's just like we are changing proportions wildly. Maybe that's just the style. Maybe we are becoming as abstract as the backgrounds as a representative of something. Also, I would say our protagonist seems to like look more human than all the other characters combined. Like she has an actual defined face on there. The empty path extended further into the darkness. No, and could not have passed by here. But now we can control the character for the first time. Yay! We cannot run anyway, we can only slow. We have a menu. That's an interesting idea for a menu to have it just be a bit of cut off paper on the side. Neat. Blink, plonk, blink, plonk, blink, plonk. Blink, plonk, blink, plonk, blink, plonk. We have weirdly large rooms with nothing in them. There was nothing, empty space all around him, and nothing revealed itself. The dead air thrummed violently in her ears. We just entered like a basketball stadium. There's no way Anne could be here. A screeching noise came from the door behind her. Is it a monster? Is it a horror game? What in the world? Donk. I like that really evocative, like, just the door and nothing else is there. That's a really cool effect. Darkness. I like the floor becoming sketchy lines. I really like it. How it's exploding into like an action bubble. That is really good. Darkness oozed in. Our art style leaked out our ears. Like, oh my god. Look at the size of her arms. She's become sticks. Her head is 50 times the size of her body. If it's going for like intentional uncanny valley, this is the beginning of a nightmare. We have wandered into a horror game. Oh darn it. The patch of purple was eerily bright in the absence of light, as if it had been sugar-coated with icing. What do any of these metaphors mean? These are just like, pull out 50 words from a thesaurus, put them together in any kind of order you want. What does that possibly mean? A patch of purple was eerily bright in the absence of light. Okay, even though the room is dark, I can see a patch on the floor which is purple, as if it has been sugar-coated with icing. No, that doesn't make any sense, because that would make it look white and not purple. And like, if it's just purple, if it's eerily bright, wouldn't you just say like, it's almost as if it's been lit up by a spotlight or something? How does sugar-coating with icing have anything to do with one part of the room being more illuminated than the rest? Hello? Oh, a cool demon person! Yay! Are you the monster of the game? I hope you're going to be a friend. I hope you're going to be an ally. I hope you're going to be like the Gary of this game. I hope you're not going to be bad because your design is really cool. But that kind of face is making me go, oh, you're going to be some kind of sassy trickster person of some kind. And their piercing sweet voice sounded as a patch of purple probed out from the inky depths. Also, that makes the previous sentence even more confusing. I guess maybe it was like dusted with icing, as in like purple horns and purple hair, just slightly lighter. I'm giving you too much benefit of a doubt. Smooth locks bleached of colour, as if waiting for a painter's palette would drip down any second now. Peter, that's one metaphor I do like. I do like that metaphor. Also, I like the style of your funny-looking eyes. I like how there's a variety. Every character seems to be an entirely different art style. That's very unique and interesting. The ashen-faced owner turned to greet her. Hi? Hi! You're unusually informal for your design. Yes. Oh, excellent. You understand? Okay, I was saying hi. Then why were our... Oh, I don't even... Purplish white figure pulled itself up as... It's also really weird how we just keep going and saying that a purplish thing, a purplish thing, a purplish thing. Like, when we've already got a point where we've seen it's a person of some kind. A purplish white figure pulled itself up as if it's setting a long fight. I do get a vibe already of this game is trying really hard to be pretentious and incredibly sad and deep. But I hope I am just misjudging it on like a bad translation or something that's going to be getting a bit better soon. Oh god. I'm sorry, but it is such a 50-50 in every second whether it's going to be like a really cool and interesting art style or just like the worst. And apparently this person has sexy heels. Okay, what time is it? Is it spring? Nothing's making any sense. Especially not the proportions of our head. Long sleeves flapped across her vision, but the way the figure moved didn't seem entirely... That's not being communicated at all, but in fact we're only seeing feet. The way the figure moved didn't seem entirely human. Who are you? I remember the door being locked. If there's nothing else, can you shut the door on your way out? It started moving away with a furniture-rich sleeves, accompanied by the clopping sound of a horse's hooves. No, we just saw you were wearing shoes. Was that cutscene out of order or something? It seemed bored. Also, are you non-binary? Because everyone seems to be continually saying it, even though we can clearly see you're a person. But this made her feel a bit uneasy. She yelled defiantly, I don't want to leave. You were clearly better and nicer than my aunt. It's his father's old house, so she should be the one to inherit it. The adults said that before. Okay, so it is father's weird whiskey hovel. No matter how unwilling those expressions had been, they'd indeed said that before. Therefore, she wasn't going to let herself be swept out the door, no matter what. The figure stilled and turned back, despite being far away. Don't really need to describe that, we can see it in the cutscene. Oh? She regretted her words almost immediately, particularly as the figure swiftly closed the distance between them. Was this entire game, like, contrived to make me stumble over my words? Was the title foreshadowing that? She realised his expression hadn't changed. She tilted her head a long way up to meet its gaze. Really? Dun, 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 dun. This is a cool and interesting framing of the thing, but also the background is a weirdly light shade of grey. The purple eyes flashed gleefully as if he'd suddenly remembered something, which were not showing a picture of them specifically without any eyes being shown. A garish grin abruptly split open the pale face, which was already shown. Elizabeth. A cloyingly sweet voice spelled out the girl's name. You've returned. Okay, this is gonna be like our imaginary friend from when we were a kid or something. Well, we are a kid. The light disappeared suddenly as if window shutters had snapped shut. And then, rectangle! The door opened! Her body moved of its own accord, disconnected from her mind, roiling with confusion. It's so hard to understand what is going on in any given sentence. Elizabeth sprinted up... Also, her name is Elizabeth with an S instead of a Z. Okay. I'm hoping... That's probably just like there are many variants of that name. I'm picking up on every tiny detail and not any of the overall what is actually going on. Elizabeth sprinted up the steps and past a dim door frame draped with spider webs, retracing her original path. See, the way the grammar is saying it makes it look like the door frame is retracing her original path. I'm getting so confused. I couldn't remember why she set foot in this place, and a growing sense of nauseated distaste urged her to leave. Her heart settled when she finally set foot on that. That was a funny effect there. When she finally set foot on the lush carpet. As long as the front door is still open, then rectangle. Huh? What? The front door has vanished. Oh, as if it's a horror game. Oh God, our head is so wide. Splat Tim. Splat Tim. There was nothing on the wall. Like, I was initially giving it credit, saying like maybe like the abstract backgrounds contrasted with the character are meant to like be metaphorical in some way, but it is just like, if it is intentional, I don't get the intention. It's not making it scary, it's making it unintentionally comical. Where's the door? She was trapped by a nothingness that revealed itself in front of her, just like how the cat previously cowered in the corner. This couldn't possibly be happening. A jump scare happens here. It wasn't very good and it didn't scare me, but I'm just popping up a warning. Skip ahead around 20 seconds to miss it. It's a horror game. Oh, there's some of the blood. What's wrong? There were beds, and then I had a hat, and then there was blood. The hat was the scariest part. That nauseating voice was starting to become irritating. How can I give like a nauseating voice? What's wrong, honey? Oh! Who's going Mickey Mouse? A nauseating voice was starting to become irritatingly familiar. Let me out! She cried again, not in quotation marks. Why are we the only characters no quotation marks? It's like, are we actually a mute but we're not talking? That was what I would assume that was representing something. I don't know. But everything this game seems to be representing something except the use of quotation marks is really getting to me. What's that you say? There's no such thing as a front door? She retorted, I just came in from the front door. Okay. Which one of us is talking? Oh, I didn't see that. You told me to shut the door on my way out. I don't remember saying that. The unease had disappeared when it surfaced with a will almost tangible in its strength. Are we just being trolled by, like, the worst customer service demon ever. Terror, exhaustion, you didn't want to face this latest turn of events. I don't want to face this game. A strong sense of fatigue stole its way into her mind and her eyes started. I have no idea who I am, what's happening, what's going on. Literally, why do we have any incentive to want to rescue our aunt anyway? The only establishment trait we've had so far is our aunt's an arsehole. I like the design of the cool demon. Like, now we're seeing the sleeves that were described in the previous cutscene, which did not describe the legs. And did they mix up the order of these cutscenes? I like the fluffy sleeves. You are very non-binary energy, whoever you are. I'm gonna headcanon you non-binary because we're using weird its pronouns. I was a headcanon the game is not being weird and disrespectful to you, and instead that actually is your pronouns. What's wrong? Elizabeth? How? How did the being... You're only just getting that. Her eyes shut firmly before she could ask the question. The top tag is like 5 steps behind us. Indeed, I shall enchant your eyes and your ears, instead of shutting yourself away, sad as the worm that gnaws your books. Come, follow me to a new place. I'm happy as a worm. I like worms. Let us go then to learn about life, and leave the rubbish of philosophy. Oh, is this the Faust or Faust or Face to Faust? Is this the Elpel? Berlioz, the damnation, the Faust. I don't know. Okay, we're quoting various Fausts and Fausts. Maybe if I had read Fausts and Fausts and whatever this old thing is. I like when little sprite of us sleeping. Rectangle, 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 rectangle. The glitches are really not adding to the experience. Elizabeth opened her eyes. Where is this place? Is that dot dot dot? Why was dot 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 working in the original cutscene and now it's not? The pendulum ticked away mercilessly in the empty. Is this like a weird binary? The game will either be running with only dot dot dots or everything except dot dot dots. The pendulum ticked away mercilessly in the empty air as if it was the only living thing left in the world. It's not living, it's a pendulum. This game is like, it's in five levels of... Okay, has our arm turned into a monster? Do we have a cuddly toy? I hope our arm has turned into a monster. I would like that. I would like that a lot. It was a piece of chocolate candy. That's a well-rendered piece of chocolate candy. Get chocolate candy. Eating it will impart more energy in your walking speed. Oh, this is going to be a horror chasey game. It can reach repeatedly in the maximum... Like, chocolate maxing! The new speedrun strategy. You'll be unable to progress if you cannot walk. Okay. That's an oddly ominous thing. A key. Half of the label that remained had the words 1F right corridor. Got the key to right corridor. A reflection of my face and a stern expression. Oh, now you're giving us instructions. That would have been helpful, like, before we had to, like, walk over here to do it anyway. Chocolates will increase your walking speed, matches will increase your line of sight. What is the rectangle? Is it, like, an asterisk or something? Keeping to a certain walking speed and sight radius will increase the chances of danger. Okay. Blinkly donkly, blinkly donkly dee, dinkly wonkly, sminkly smonkly made of firewood, no idea what's going on, come find me, okay. Can I give a demon a hug? Like, so far the only redeeming thing is like interesting, the interesting art style, which is inconsistent sadly, but also the interesting demon design. I like the interesting demon design. I hope they're a friend and not an evil thing I have to run from. But everything in the game will give me signs they're an evil thing I have to run from. Paper and ink, do you want to make a record? I guess I gotta save? Okay, that's an interesting interface for the saving. I do like how the interface is all like random doodles from the child. But they don't seem to necessarily fit the personality we've been given for the child, because so far, like, we've had her acting like overly formal, and like, if this is her internal monologue, it's incredibly like above her age level, so I wouldn't expect her drawings to be like very innocent and normal like that. No, there really isn't anything. Are we not noticing they have some kind of weird purple hand? Is it just you carrying like a little purple doll? Is that what's going on? Is the demon like our childhood plushie come to life and that's why they knew our name? No, there really isn't anything. She woke us up with a brisk shake of her head, and though she had yet to figure out what had happened, Elizabeth still didn't feel right just standing there. Cold shivers ran down her back just as she finished that thought. And then the demon appeared at a really weird angle and everything was partially coloured in. Would it make a difference if she made a decent effort in communicating with them? Yes, please, like, give some politeness. Like, they've been slightly confusing, but they haven't done anything evil yet, and you just fainted out of nothing. Didn't you want to leave? Why did you just suddenly start looking for the door? Those weren't actual questions, just sarcasm weaved in sin. Okay, is it sarcasm? I don't get what's going on. What is the personality of anybody who's talking? She slumped on the staircase. Who are you? Elizabeth asked. The gaze directed towards Elizabeth Sue creased into a smile as if she had been waiting for this question. The figure bowed with Why have we suddenly changed to lineless sketch? I like your floofing sleeve, I like your design. I hope we can see all of it at some point and not like this. Like, I want to draw fan art of you, whoever you are. The figure bowed with an almost comical number of flourishes. I am Mephistopheles. I am Mephistopheles. This game is every word I can't pronounce. Me what? Is it not Mephistopheles? Mephisto. Okay. What exactly are you? Elizabeth further asked. I'm a cool demon friend. The demon smiled and slowly paced the wall. It's not good to follow. What are you if the demon did this? Is the narration our inner thoughts or not? If not, why are our voices in the inner thoughts and not in a speech bubble? I'm really getting annoyed by this. The demon smiled and slowly paced in the wide. Or is it supposed to be this is not actually what we're saying and the narrator is putting words into our mouth or something? I don't even. Does anything mean anything? What the game is going out for a drop and everything must mean something. I'm looking into trying to find meaning in anything. The demon smiled and slowly paced in a wide circle around the girl. It spread its hands in a way that was annoying for some reason. Why is the game so mean to this demon which has done nothing? It's everything it says is sarcastic when nothing actually seemed to be sarcastic about it. And everything it does is annoying and mean somehow. I am the genie that denies everything. You were adorable, I love that silly pose. Those two long sleeves waved around the sinister. What is sinister? This is a funny, endearing comic relief character. Am I just missing what the game is? Is this game too deep for me? Is it on 5 levels of metaphor? All I'm getting is here's an interesting character design and an endearing character, and they've done nothing but say helpful things. But it must be sarcastic somehow. And so she asked, "Can you tell me where the front door is?" Didn't I say there's no such thing? That's what you said. I didn't see a thing. Didn't you walk in of your own volition? How would you not know where the door is? What do you know? They won't tell you anything. They actually don't even want. Okay, so was it both of us talking back and forth, or is the demon just saying this all along one? It would really be helpful if there were text indicators. If only you hadn't been. Okay, that's the first mean thing we've had saying. So now at least I'm giving some sense of personally what's going on. This demon is teasingly saying things that are on our mind, I guess. Because if only we hadn't. I'm assuming that's you having negative depressive thoughts because your dad just died. So this demon is some kind of representation of our subconscious, maybe, and I am going on a theory that they might be a cuddly toy, because I noticed that we were holding the cuddly toy when we were walking around, but then it wasn't there in the cutscene. But that might also just be the art inconsistency. It had stolen the right to speak, and every word it spoke drifted blood-curdlingly onto it. Okay, is that the reason why our voice isn't gaining question marks? Is the demon literally taking our words from us? That would have been good to establish earlier before you already had 50 text boxes of that happening with no explanation. She had to resist the urge to cover her ears in the face of a cloyingly sweet voice. Rectangle. One had snuck up on her. Okay, is it a colon? One had snuck up to her. Then why do we have a box which has 4 colons? One had snuck up on her unawares. Think about it, this place is actually not so bad. I agree. I've been given no reason to not trust you, honestly, other than the game just saying you're very mean. You're actually saying mean things. We've only said one mean thing at the very end of this cutscene. I'm really not getting what's going on. I really feel you could have conveyed the tone through how you're writing. Maybe this is a Japanese game and there were tone indicators on the end of the letters. Cause that's the difference between Japanese and English grammar. It's very easy to convey that someone is saying something in a weird or mocking tone. There are literally you can put a small thing at the end of a sentence to indicate the equivalent of in the internet you put just joking in brackets or whatever. It's quiet here, you won't hear those things. You won't even want to leave after a while. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking is the demon is somehow a representation of our cuddly toy come to life, and is the voice of all the negative thoughts in our subconscious, just telling us give in to depression and don't go back out into the real world. There is no hope for you now. Your dad is dead. It's your fault he was dead. Blah blah blah. Stay here. And that's why it's cloyingly sweet. It's both inviting you in, but it's also evil. I don't know. I'm going for this. And maybe that's why the pronouns are it rather than they, them, or anything. But it could just be that this is a non-binary person who uses it. Which, in real life, it happens. It's less common, but it happens. Elizabeth turned back to rebut this weird theory. I don't know if that's a real word. Maybe it's just another font error that's supposed to be some kind of different quotation mark around them. Because now we're in italics, and now our words are actually being distinctified. I don't know. No way, she said. I don't want to stay or spend even a second here. Not even for a second? Not even for a second. See, now I can tell who's talking. Why was that not there for every other text box? Really? Alright, want to make a bet? If you really want to leave, I'll show you the way out. Really? Yes, the demon nodded. And if any moment you wax nostalgic about your time here, or wish to preserve any instant for eternity, then you lose. Any instant? Any instant. And now it's going to be like, oh, we go into the rooms, there's memories of our dad. And it's like, oh, if we leave, we lose the memories of our dad. And then, oh, you've lost a memory because you were positive about something. Or it's going to be like, this is a demon who is our long-lost cuddly toy. And it's like, oh, you didn't like any instant I was with you? But like, if you just explained early on, I would have understood. And I don't know. I'm trying to predict where the plot is going because so far I have no clue. Wow, that didn't seem so hard. She didn't have a slight inclination to stay here anyway. It's great to start a game with nobody wants to be here, nobody's enjoying the game. Elizabeth nodded her head without thinking it over too long. Oh good, then it's settled. When the demon was saying all these nice things, she was distrusting everything it said. Now it's saying nasty things, she's trusting everything it says? I don't know. The demon capered in satisfaction before she had said anything. It's also when the bells in the house started tolling. Elizabeth covered her mouth with both hands before she blurted out, "Wait a minute, the bet had already begun." Wait, why would she have to cover her mouth? Like, the demon didn't say don't speak. What? Despite having a lot to say a second ago, the demon's irregular form vanished up the stairs. She didn't want to keep it at all. Didn't want to keep what? To keep... I don't understand what anything means. What am I supposed to be doing? I'm supposed to be looking for chocolate, I guess? Get some matches. It was locked. Okay, that's in the past tense as opposed to everything else is in the present tense. It doesn't mean anything, so there's a translation error. I don't know, it's a mouse. Okay, the mouse is attacking us? But there's no HP bar of any kind? I don't know what's going on. Is this like a very incompetent horror game that's not scaring me? Like, me, the weakest and wimpiest person in the entire universe? Get some choco. At least we're going to be less intolerably slow now. Okay, how do we do that then? Yeah, we do have a doll that appeared out of nowhere in a cutscene. I love that design, that's so cute, I want that in real life, what a squiggly friend. I've been twirling and twirling its ears all the time. Strange cloth doll, cannot recall since when she has been holding it. Cannot recall since when she has been holding it. Okay, that answers my question. It's not just being poetic language for the sake of being cool. I'm not just missing things because I'm not smart enough. The game is poorly translated. Okay, thank you. I felt like I was being gaslit for a second. And our timer is up on she has been holding it. Open with the key. The sound of someone playing a piano came from the other end of the hallway. Chapter 1 in Puss Boots. Something's happening. Is it going to be different fairy tales, I guess? So is our doll meant to be the Cheshire Cat or the White Rabbit or something? It's not white or I don't even... Okay, we have a weird blinking effect. Blonk, 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 blink, blonk, blonk. Pile of red wine bottles, blink, blonk, blonk. Tea was still warm. Well, some things are present tense, some things are not. Does that mean anything? Red wine to collect at the bottom of the cup. Oh, it's an eyeball. Hello, eyeball. Goodbye, eyeball. You look like a weird triangle fish. Does any of this mean anything? A mound of animal bones gnawed clean. The bowl was filled with dust. Look at our random cabinets of ominous things. There were stacks of dirty plates inside. Food that had gone bad. Ooh, mysterious. Ooh, the scariest thing of all. We walk into a room and there's just an eye and a painting doing nothing to us, and ooh, there was bad food in the cupboard. Ooh, I'm so scared. Dirty plates and congealed soup. Oh no, the cleanliness demons. The liquid bubbled and frothed. It looked quite dangerous, as if it could melt anything. Sculpture made from plaster. A completely different art style. A puddle of yellow liquid is found inside the furnace. Was it? Was it really? A puzzle made of wood. The witch's sums were written on the sides. Oh, I don't like these kind of puzzles. Okay, I can't do anything here. Pressing any buttons. It seems like there were no missing wooden. Okay, so I guess we can't complete that yet. I thought we had to move like a sliding puzzle. I was gonna say I don't like those. Blink, blonk, blink, plonk, blink, plonk, blink, plonk, blink, plonk, blink, plonk. Sure is annoying to be randomly attacked by mice that do nothing except make me walk slow. Okay, I've saved the game in a state where I will inevitably load and die over and over again. That is not good. Okay, we do. Have we just loaded? Okay, we didn't load because I didn't redo the. I was like, have we loaded up and like lost all our progress? So there's always gonna be a chocolate there when we first die, I guess. Now we're even more painfully slow than before. Yeah, I'm not liking this one. Sorry, I guess it's because the games that's just like mysterious and atmospheric, but unlike Eve, it doesn't really like establish right away like any reason to give a shit or any kind of interesting anythings. It has like an interesting art style, but like a very inconsistent one, and then a translation which is making everything even more needlessly cryptic. How do we use the chocolate? Like, it doesn't seem to be making you faster. It said it was. So yeah, I've gone up to 30 minutes, I've gone over 30 minutes, I still don't know what's going on. Oh, hello. Yeah, nothing is actually scary in this either. I was worried at the start, but it's just boring. It's just really boring, and especially having a gameplay mechanic where like, you walk really slow, and at any moment random mice can appear out of nowhere and just like take away your slowness HP, I guess. Yeah, I just don't enjoy this. I'm out. I'm gonna like look up like what the hell this game is about. Like, if other people would enjoy it, it's not my kind of thing. Like, 1, I don't like horror games. 2, I don't like these point and click, like find things and combine things and use them in the right area type games. 3, I really don't like chase games. 4, I really don't like games with really slow walking speeds. 5, I like to know what the fuck is going on and like understand the words. And 6, I inevitably side with cool non-binary demons, so... Ooh, it's so deep, it's so scary. Look, the bunny has committed a suicide. Oh! Yeah, that's also the vibe I'm getting from it. It's trying really too hard to be edgy. I don't mean to be mean to the game, but like, probably the most profoundly like disappointing one so far. Puzzle game of some kind, you have to go around and things. The bird blew. There's more nooses. There's more of the cool demon person, who's apparently bad, I guess. Yeah, the description has no more information. It's just, your dad dies, you go in a house, you'll have to do some puzzles to get out. There's a demon, we don't know if they're good or bad. This person is having a very different experience to me. I didn't expect to get so quickly immersed into the story. I didn't. It's good that it's a free game. I'm not sure why it's a free game. It does seem like it's a good quantity, like... It is good. Multiple endings, cryptic puzzles to make you feel... I don't really like cryptic puzzles, so it didn't really establish... I'm trying to give it, like... Yeah, I do agree that like the engine that runs it is too finicky. Like, people seem to like it. People who like puzzle games like it. Okay, we have one negative review here, which is also like the most detailed one which actually describes anything, so I'm kind of like, yeah, all the rest of it's like, it's so deep, it's so cool, and like, I don't want to say that you're necessarily wrong, and maybe it does get better later, but yeah, this longer review here has like, pros, it's pretty, it's got an atmosphere, it's got references to things. Cons, the puzzles are obtuse and really confusing. Pointless roadblocks that stop being intriguing and start being annoying. That's the kind of thing I dislike around the puzzle games. I don't think I'd enjoy this. Also, exactly what I was saying, scattered storytelling, probably thanks to translation, it's shaky in a lot of places. I feel like this game was trying from FromSoft style, fill-in-the-blank storytelling, but what it ended up being was empty and damn near aimless. I feel like I just watched a badly paced anime with unsatisfying endings. Also, it has nothing to do with Faust, except random quotes for no reason, and you can permanently lock yourself out of the hidden ending completely by accident. So, yeah, I guess those things were not necessarily, like, they were a feature rather than a failure. It's one of those games which, like, tries to scatter things around and be, like, atmospheric and up to your own interpretation. Most of it's not my kind of game. Also, that's what a lot of the most popular RPG Maker games have been. They're just games where it's pointlessly weird and scary for no reason, and the story, if there is one, is never clearly explained, and for some reason they're popular. They're not my kind of thing. I'm not going to be against everyone who likes that thing. I don't really get it. I don't get one of the most popular. Most of the most popular RPG Maker games I've never played, or I have played them, I just didn't enjoy them very much. Ebe I did like Ebe, but that's because it was more focused. It had a clear, like, even if like the actual plot was very vague and confusing and mysterious sometimes, it had like an actual focused like main character plot. Like it was about like the bond between you and Gary and like wanting to save him and stuff like that. It had like a core to, even if you were like me and you didn't get any of these weird strange metaphors of what's going on, you still like, oh, I want to try the different endings to get the ending where I save Gary, and like it helps if you're making a game which is really deep and metaphorical and doesn't have any clear answers. Like, also have at least one thing to appeal to people who do want clear answers. Bring up FromSoft games. FromSoft games have endearing characters in them. It's mysterious, you don't know what the fuck is going on in the plot. Every single FromSoft game has at least one like character that like, has like 1,000 fans on the internet. There is appeal, even if you don't get the plot, even if you know you'll never get the plot, you can still find something that makes you enjoy playing. But again, those are ones I don't really get because again, it's like we've made it really difficult on purpose and there's going to be no clues whatsoever. It's not my kind of thing. If you were interested from watching this, don't take my review as gospel. You go and you play this and you enjoy it. And what is an Alptraum? It means nightmare, so it's Fausts nightmare. Okay. Oh, and an Alp is a type of demon which has a hat. I know that because I read a web comic when I was younger which had an Alp as a main character. But the demon didn't seem to have a hat, so like, is the brief view of someone with a hat, is that the Alp? I want to buy the art books, that's all I care about, to be honest. Maybe they'll have more information on what these things even are. Logically, I shouldn't pay $9.29 to buy a thing for a game I don't like, but I'm at the point where like I want to know what the fuck is going on. Also, I just want images of a cool non-binary demon. And the art book is not loading. Oh, thank you. For a second I thought that would be like the way to cap off the fucking day, wouldn't it? Here is a cool sassy demon being cool and sassy. I like that pose. So far the only character I actually like. And I think I'm not supposed to. Interestingly, we have some concept art of her and the opening cutscene in a completely different, like, less stylized art style, which is actually more consistent. And I kind of like it better. Like, I really do like the interesting art style, but I like the interesting art style in this key art, how it's rendered here. I don't like how, like, every 5 seconds the proportion of her head completely wildly changes. I think it does show that maybe it's an artist, like, doing an art style that they aren't familiar with. I like stylized art styles, but you've really got to, like, know what you're doing with. My art style, it's kind of squishy and, like, I'm inconsistent. That is because I'm not that good at art. I'm not doing it on purpose. I feel like maybe it might be better to, like, stick to your strengths rather than go for something crazy like this. Also, there's a big explanation of, like, a bunch of endgame spoilers. There's a clear explanation of what the plot is going on here. I think this art book would be really good for anyone who played the game and didn't get the plot. It's literally explaining right here what the plot is. And I'm not going to say it because I don't want to spoil it for people who actually want to play, but yeah. So the demo version of the game seemed to have a wildly different art style. I think if anyone played the demo version and got that stylized art style, they would have been really disappointed to get the final game and it's like a more chibi one. She seems to be a wildly different age in all of these. I assumed she was meant to be like a literal child because like maybe it's a chibi art style and she's like actually a teenager or something. Not to say like one of these styles is better than the other. Like personally, I prefer the more chibi cartoony art style. But I think people who like play like a gothic game and you've got like this like looks like a ball jointed doll, like classic Lolita like figurine art style, and then you play the final version and it totally switches to like a really undetailed, sketchy, totally out of everywhere style. I think you would be disappointed. All the concept art seems to be continuing to be in that style. Are there different outfits you unlock later in the game? Because that's interesting. Okay, they did explain it. I don't know if it's a spoiler or anything like that, but it says that she is somewhere between 10 and 15. In the house, she sees the memories of a younger version of herself. So maybe it wasn't intentional. In the first cutscene, she's supposed to like look in a way that makes sense, and then she's gradually getting less detail to represent like she's regressing into her memories of her childhood or something. And it seems you can change into little different outfits. That's neat. Also, official concept art of slam dunking the demon into the ground. At least we know they have a sense of humour about their game. I wish the game itself contained more of that and it wasn't just like, oh, everything is so sad and awful, over deep, like I can't explain anything in a clear sentence to save my life. See, now, a full design of Mephistopheles. I love your design, Mephistopheles. And we can clearly see you do not actually have hooves, you are just wearing some kind of shoes which have like the heel on the front. Which I guess would make the sound of clothing really cool. I like your art style of your face. It gets a weird contrast how like Mephistopheles is drawn being so long and lanky. It does say here that the demo version did use a previous art style. It completely changes everyone's art style except Mephistopheles. Also, like, I'm sorry, but I'm not even going to comment as a spoiler. I literally said this as a theory. It says, this affected the design of the doll. We had to design the doll to look like Mephistopheles, but not so clearly that people would miss the twist. It doesn't say what the twist is, but I literally called the first moment I saw the design of the doll that it's somehow connected to Mephistopheles, and Mephistopheles is our doll. Like, come on, man. My theory confirmed, this is the demon of the doll that we lost, and it was very obvious, like literally only 2 purple things in the game, and I can't believe it's putting there like, we had to design the doll so precisely so it wouldn't spoil the twist. I feel bad now, I feel bad. I called it like the most bare-ass theory I got out of nowhere. I do like a little graphical art of like Mephistopheles fading away into shadow and then the shadow shaped like hands. That's really cool. Also confirmed that this demon is of unknown gender. But it does say in the story that they use the various gender pronouns of him, her, and it, but so far it only used it. Anyway, this game given us an iconic non-binary demon, and that's good. An iconic non-binary demon that's also a rabbit plushie, and that's really cool and lovely, and I like them. I like it, because yeah, it's not using neutral they, it's using literally every pronoun except neutral they. Sorry about that. I'm used to neutral A, but there are non-binary people who also neutral it, so yeah. Oh, its initial character design had even longer, floofier sleeves. I like that too. There's a variant where the sleeves start higher up. I gotta say, I don't like the demo version as much. Like, I do like the final version. Like, the final version going into a stylization while keeping the proportions worked well. But it does seem very strange that everybody else has like such tiny chibi proportions. I guess it plays into like making this demon seem like extra ethereal and out of place. Also, here is Mephistopheles in a more modern now with a little beret. That's adorable. Unused CG images in the better art style. Damn it. Also, I love how there's this constant interruption of like little meme images we made while developing. That's kind of cute. We have some concept art of characters we didn't encounter yet. Again, I'm saying, like, people would be disappointed if they went from the demo design to the wildly different art style. I do prefer the stylized art. I just wish it was executed better. Like, if making such a wild change at a very late moment in development, I do feel like maybe it was a bit rushed. And, like, again, how unintentionally comical it was, just randomly my face becomes wide and stuff like that. Here we have the hatted character, who, again, does look a lot better in the demo art style. Oh, well. A very clear comparison of all the various different art styles that this game seems to have gone through. I think the only one I really dislike is the first top one here. It is just like generic and really bright and like no real defining trait to the character. What the fuck? There was an actual finished and coloured version of that one cutscene which is literally just fucking line art in the end. How do you have completely finished demo art in a way more complex art style and then you just leave it out? Like, especially because the demon's character design doesn't change. Like, you could have just changed the little girl's character design there. Like, it could have even been represented, like, if the little girl was, like, a sketchy outline, the demon running around her was, like, not. I can't understand wanting to not use that artwork and instead just completely, like, leave an unfinished sketch in the final game. Like, was it intentional, some kind of artistic moment? If so, I think your artistic choices were not correct. I'm really sorry to say that. Like, when I saw that scene, I was like, wow, it's a really nice and interesting, intriguing pose. I would love to see it actually fully drawn, and it is right here to enjoy in the artbook and nowhere else. It is really shocking me how many of these cutscenes are like fully finished there and they just didn't use them. Instead, like really unfinished versions of a second art style. Like if you want to change the art style, at least finish it. At least make sure it's consistent. At least double check things. Oh, I'm really sorry, but it's like I am a person who likes stylized art styles. I would objectively say I prefer the style of it, the conceptual idea of it. This like really exaggerated proportions and stuff. Like the way it is rendered is just like completely off. You can see the previous ones, like, they had more detailed shading, they had like fully like consistent proportions, they had fully drawn backgrounds, and then it just goes to like the only thing it has is stylization now and nothing else left, and the stylization is not even consistent between frames of the same scene. When you put it right by here, it's really clear. Okay, it's intentional to make things extra sketchy and vague in the background. Okay, it was a choice. It's a choice. I don't agree with the choice, but okay. Like literally right side by side, you can see how the proportions are widely fucking different. You got a terrible version of a scene. Oh, the graphic on the right purposefully used clashing colours to evoke an eerie atmosphere of conflict. You have just shown in one sentence exactly what's wrong with this. We're gonna go for being edgy at the cost of actually looking good and also having a really shitty like no checking for consistency to the point where we mistyped the same sentence twice. I'm sorry, but objectively the other version was better. Like you could literally just do that and put some different filters and different art styles over it. Like you can do an abstract art style without being bad. These breaks from reality, these changing to different backgrounds would have more of an effect if you actually established regular backgrounds at any point. Just going straight into it just seems like it's a regular feature of the art. It doesn't feel like eerie in any way. Also, what is eerie about just having an unfinished sketch? There is nothing eerie about, we've picked the worst possible tone of piss yellow and we're going to make that everybody else's problem. We don't erase any of our pencil marks. We add more sketch lines than we need to. That's your style, I guess. I don't think it looks better. I really don't think it looks better. We made it look worse to look better. And here we have you looking practically normal, a totally different art style here. Were they trying to deliberately go for a liminal idea where the art style changed every 5 seconds? Oh, this is the worst looking one of them all. If it's not a mistake, it's a feature. We wanted each CG artwork to be unique, so we avoided repeating any colours or a unified style. If it didn't stand out enough, we'd shine a brighter light on it. You deliberately made the game look bad on purpose to be more scary. It's not scary, it just looks bad. Do people really get scared by art styles being inconsistent? Am I just looking at it with like the wrong kind of brain? Am I not deep enough for this? At least it's taken back. I'm not feeling so bad about judging it if it was deliberately like this. All the alternate outfits are not actually gainable in-game at all. They're only gainable by backing the Kickstart. And they all come with really, really vital, useful gameplay features that make it less boring and awful. This one makes your vision immediately actually useful. This one allows you to save anywhere. This one allows you to actually do anything to combat the mice which make your vision go down. That one is the only one which doesn't actually have an effect. Again, I feel less bad for critiquing it. Even the writer of the game says they don't understand Fausts and they only put it in because it looks really cool. Some felt that the translation was outdated and confusing, but to be honest, the more something is translated in this manner, the greater my love for it. It's literally a whole fucking paragraph talking about how they don't understand the thing that they put in their game to sound deep. This is not what I like about this isn't how I think people should approach like making anything. I'm so sorry I'm being so mean. Like, I guess this is just a different philosophy to me on how a game should be made. I hope I managed to convey, if even part of the beauty. This is my first game I've ever translated. I understand. I do feel like, again, these choices, like especially if you're selling a game on crowdfunding based on the demo of a wildly different art style when it hasn't even been translated yet, and then you hire someone who hasn't done any translation work before, and you hire an entirely new artist, and you tell them to deliberately make every single scene look wildly different and out of everything. When that wasn't the demo had no every scene is going to be a wildly different colour of a totally different art style. You're just giving people a product that wasn't what they bought. This is false advertising the game. This is Alptraum, the hell. I want to give it the benefit of the doubt. I don't want to be too mean, but these are my honest thoughts. I don't like how this game was made. You've made a game where the art style's deliberately bad, the story is deliberately vague, the puzzles are deliberately obtuse, and you have to do it all really slow, and deliberately characters will run out of nowhere and make you walk even slower. I don't get any of these choices. I don't understand. I don't comprehend. This is probably one of the most negative ones I've been about anything I've played in this entire thing. And it's because it has such nice promise. And every time I try to give it the benefit of the doubt, I was like, oh, maybe they just didn't do it on purpose. No, they did it all on purpose. They made the worst possible choices on purpose. Maybe I'm just not galaxy brain enough to understand it, but no, even the writers of the game did not understand the random ancient literature they were quoting for no reason. I don't understand. Why would you do this? And I hope if people out there are interested in it, I would recommend buying the art book and not playing the game.